A painting of love and adventure, The Abduction of Europa by Jean-François de Troyes. By Jean-François de Troyes, 1716. The Abduction of Europa, housed at the West Building, main floor, Gallery 54 of the National Gallery of Art, Washington, D.C., depicts a delightful scene of Europa, a Phoenician princess, being abducted by Zeus, the king of the gods, who has transformed himself into a handsome white bull. The painting, signed and dated by the artist, is a remarkable example of his dynamic and expressive style and his ability to portray the emotions and interactions of the mythological characters. The painting shows Europa, wearing a pale yellow fabric that covers her legs and a rose-pink cloth that billows behind her, sitting sideways on the bull, who charges into the azure-blue ocean. She has a blonde hair woven with a deep pink ribbon and wears 2 pearl bracelets on her gesturing hand. She leans across the bull's neck and clutches one of his horns, while looking and pointing back at the group of 3 women on shore, who are her companions. The women have pale or peachy skin and rosy cheeks, and wear flowing robes of bronze orange, royal blue, lavender grey, or pale mint green. They express shock and concern as they reach out towards Europa. The bull is being pulled by a winged putto, a baby-like figure who symbolizes Cupid or Eros, the god of love. The putto has pudgy arms, a round tummy, and short, blonde, curly hair. He smiles as he looks back over his shoulder and pulls a garland of leaves and flowers around the bull's neck. The bull turns his head to look over our left shoulder with bright, golden eyes. He has rings of flowers around his short, steel grey horns. His front legs plunge into the water, creating splashes. The scene is framed by a brick archway and a leafy tree that extends off the top right corner. The background shows a dense wooded area that becomes lighter and hazier in the distance, to our right. A bright dot of cream white surrounded by coral peach on the ocean's horizon suggests the sun. In the top half of the picture, towering puffy clouds rise against a topaz-blue sky. The painting is a masterpiece of color harmony, as de Troyes concentrated the 2 major colors in 2 distinct areas, a warm pink for Europa's cloth and ribbon, and a cool blue for the ocean and the sky. He then used the intensity of the white and yellow for Europa's fabric and the sun to unify the whole. The contrast between the warm and cool tones creates a visual and psychological effect, as the pink cloth and ribbon suggest Europa's femininity and charm, while the blue ocean and sky imply Zeus's divinity and power. The painting is also a demonstration of light and shadow, as de Troyes illuminates the subject with a natural and radiant light that highlights their features and creates a soft, hazy look. The light also reflects off the water, the sun, the pearl bracelets, the tip of the nose, the lips, and the bull's eyes, adding sparkle and liveliness to the composition. The painting is seen as one of de Troyes' mythological scenes, a French term that refers to paintings of stories or legends from ancient Greek and Roman culture, usually featuring gods, goddesses, heroes, or nymphs. De Troyes studied with his father, François de Troyes, professor and then director of the Académie Royale de Peinture et de Sculpture. In 1699, he traveled to Italy, spending most of his time in Rome copying the masterpieces of antiquity and Italian art. He returned to Paris in 1706, and 2 years later became a full-fledged member of the Academy. He completed ambitious decorations in churches, palaces, and public buildings in Paris, Versailles, Fontainebleau, and Marseilles. In 1738, he was granted the prestigious post of director of the Académie de France in Rome, a position he retained until his death. He was also a prolific and versatile painter, who worked in various genres and media. The painting may also have a symbolic meaning, as the story of the abduction of Europa is one of the most famous examples of the theme of love and adventure in classical mythology. According to the legend, Zeus fell in love with Europa, a beautiful Phoenician princess, and transformed himself into a magnificent white bull to lure her onto his back. He then carried her away to Crete, where she became the mother of 3 sons, including Minos, the legendary king of Crete. The painting captures the moment of the abduction, where Europa is torn between fear and curiosity, while Zeus is determined to pursue his desire. The painting also represents the cultural transfer of Europe from Asia to Europe, as Europa's name is etymologically related to Europe.